All right, this is going to be the 5.1 practice from 3.8. Here we go. We want to analyze the following exponential function for question number 2. The graph of that looks like this, 3 parentheses 1.5 to the x power minus 2. It's going up, so it's growth. That's the 1.5. The y-intercept is 1. That's because of the 3 minus 2, so you can subtract that first number, 3, and the minus 2, and that's going to be 1. So that's going to be growth, 1, and the horizontal asymptote, because it was shifted down 2, that's going to be y equals negative 2. And that looks like this. Just like that. So growth, 1, negative 2. Question 2. We have a similar question. Put the 2 in front, 0.25, and then plus 1. That changes it to decay. The y-intercept is 3. That's from the 2 plus 1. So again, the y-intercept is just the leading number and the number being shifted. So 2 plus 1, so it's going to be 3. And then the horizontal asymptote, well, it's not going to be negative 2 anymore. It's shifted up to 1 to match that number. So y equals 1. So decay, 3, and y equals 1. Okay, next question. Question 4. The 3 is going to make it growth. The y-intercept will be 4. That's because there's nothing being added or subtracted at the end. And the horizontal asymptote is 0 because nothing's being added or subtracted at the end. So growth, 4, 0. Y equals 0. Question 5. Is this growth or decay? Well, it's getting smaller as x increases, so it's going to be decay. What's the y-intercept? What we got to do is we got to figure out what it's being divided by. So in this case here, 27 divided by 9, that's going to be divided by 3. 81 divided by 27 divided by 3. You can check that in the calculator. But 81 divided by 27, 3, 27 divided by 9, also 3. But when you're going backwards, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So you have to think about, well, if I got to go up, I got to actually times by 3. So we're going to take that 81, we're going to multiply by 3. And that'll be a pretty big number. So that's 243. So at that 0, you'll have 243. And that's your y-intercept. Let me show you how to write this question. So what you're going to do is to figure out f of 5, you could continue dividing by 3. 9 divided by 3 is going to be 3. And then 3 divided by 3 is going to be 1. And that's going to be 1. You could also write the function. So since it's decay, you'd say y equals your y-intercept. And because you're dividing, it's 1 over 3. That's your decay rate. And then it's going to be raised to the x power. So if you plug in 5 to evaluate f of 5, that should give you 1. So let's double check that. And there's your 1. All right, let's look at question 6. This one is going up, so it's going to be growth. It's being multiplied by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So I know that that number in the base is going to be 2. We got to figure out the y-intercept, so we got to go up to 0. So we got to got 2 spots here. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So y-intercept should be 2. But then there's an x power. So we can test that here. It's going to be 2 parentheses 2 raised to the x. 0, 2. 2 should be at 8, or 1 should be at 4. So let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. 1, 4. 2, 8, etc. So now I want to know, so the y-intercept being at 2, what's f of 7? We can plug in 7, 2 parentheses 2, raised to the 7th power. And that's 256, which you could also get just by keeping that streak going. So 5, 6, 7. 32 times 2 is 64, times 2 is 128, times 2 is 256. So 256. Okay, next question. Suppose f of x was transformed to each of the following functions. We go 2 to x, then we have 2 to the x plus 3, 2 to the x minus 3, 2 to the x plus 3 outside, 2 to the x minus 3 up in the exponent. So real quick, the rules, if it's plus 3 in the exponent, it's going to be left 3. If it's minus 3 outside, it's going to be down 3. If it's plus 3 outside, it's going to be up 3. And if it's minus 3 in the exponent, it's going to be right 3. If you want to graph them to compare, put your 2 to the x, hit the home screen, and then graph the other 3 functions, 2 to the x. If you don't have anything in the exponent, you don't need parentheses, but if you do, actually for part A, for instance, you would need 2 to the x plus 3 in parentheses. That indicates left 3. 2 to the x minus 3, no parentheses, that's down 3. 2 to the x plus 3, no parentheses, that's up 3. And 2 to the parentheses, x minus 3. That's how you can graph them all. So we just kind of hide them up one at a time. Compare it to this. There's your left, down, up, right. Question 8, the parent function y equals 2 to the x is transformed to a new function. 2 to the x plus 3 minus 5. We'll go ahead and graph those one more time. So 2 to the x is your parent function. 2 to the parentheses x plus 3 minus 5. You got to have that exponent in parentheses in the graph. So we can see it went left and down. So it went left 3 units because of that plus 3, and went down 5. That means it's not going right, and it's not going up. So only left 3, down 5. Number 9. This is going to be right 2 and down 7. So right is minus in the exponent, down is minus outside. So it will not go left, nor will it go up. Question 10, This is going to be left 6. So the plus 6 is left in the exponent. And the plus 7 is going to be up 7. So left 6, up 7, not going right, not going down. The 1/3 is your base. That's going to stay. And finally, let's see, we want to go 5 to the right and 4 down. So let's mark it over here. This is going to be left 5, down 4. So it's not that. It's going to be right 5, down 4. So that's your 1, because this will be right 5, up 4. And this will be right 4, down 5. So we got the numbers switched up. So it's not going to be any of those 3. Right 5, down 4. All right, that is your 5.1.